is the Fox 5 News Block.
We're following two major stories. The city officially in a heat wave. Liv Johnson standing by to let us know when things will cool off. And new details coming in the deadly Midtown mass shooting. The new pictures from inside the suspect's car and what it might mean. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Antoine Lewis. Welcome to the News Block. Those details coming in as funerals are underway for some of the victims. A lot to get to this afternoon. Arthur Chien is standing by in the newsroom with the very latest on this. Hi, sir.
Hi, Antoine. As you know, we are getting our first look inside the car of the alleged gunman, and we are also learning more about the prescription medications that police found inside that car. Let's begin with these pictures that Fox 5 has obtained. They're taken inside the BMW that authorities say Shane Tamura drove from Las Vegas to Midtown Manhattan. It shows a disheveled car with a carry case for the AR-15 style assault weapon. The case is empty, as police say he brought that weapon into the building for that deadly mass shooting. Another picture shows a cardboard box containing bags and bags of bullets here. Additional rounds of ammunition are seen in Ziploc bags. So the fact is, if Tamura had gotten back to his car, he would have had even more firepower. Now we want to draw your attention to this picture, which shows the center console of the car. It's on the upper left. As we zoom in, you will see a prescription bottle, and it's uncapped. It usually has a white cap, and it's not on it. Now, law enforcement sources tell Fox 5 at least two medications were retrieved from inside that car. Both are used to treat mental health conditions, including Zoloft, a Zoloft generic, which is used to treat depression, panic disorder, amongst other illnesses, and Valproex, which can be used to treat conditions that include bipolar disorder and epilepsy. Obviously, there are countless Americans struggling with mental health conditions who do not end up arming themselves and carrying out mass shootings, which authorities say Tamura carried out using these two weapons that we're showing you here now. That AR-15 style weapon, also described as an M4 in the military, was his primary weapon, and this handgun, which they say is what they say he used to take his own life, shooting himself in the chest. The key evidence here, multiple notes found on the 27-year-old, handwritten notes saying he suffers from CTE, a type of brain injury brought to prominence when found in NFL players over a decade ago. His note accuses the NFL of concealing the dangers of CTE for the purposes of its own profit. On one line, he actually apologizes. Now, Tamura shot 5 people, killing 4 of them. His victims were parents and respected New Yorkers. Their families and friends right now still reeling from this devastating mass shooting. And appearing on Good Day New York this morning, police officials detailed where the investigation stands at this moment.
We will look at his phones, his computers. We'll talk to his family. We have the timeline, what he was doing, why he was doing it. Is there anybody else involved? I'm not saying there is. They have to go to all this because it gives us information to how to prevent it the next time. What are we looking for?
Well, the very personal cost in the meantime of these lives being snatched by the gunman are on display today. Funeral services held for Julia Hyman. She was the woman who was killed on the 33rd floor. This was held this morning at Central Synagogue in Midtown. Hyman was just 27 years old and working for Rudin Management, a real estate firm that also owns the building where the shooting took place. We've also learned this day that funeral services for NYPD officer Darul Islam are set for tomorrow to be held in the Bronx. Now, law enforcement experts say investigators are likely right now checking in to see whether or not the alleged gunman previously contacted or even threatened the NFL. Meanwhile, the NYPD's chief of department said this morning that given how easy it is for a lone wolf to get guns in the U.S., that he expects it's just a matter of time before we have to deal with the next mass shooting here in New York City. Antoine.
Very sobering. Arthur, thank you for that report. In the meantime, mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani is back in New York, and he made his first public comment since the shooting. Mamdani says that he met with the family of slain officer Darul Islam earlier today.
And I know that in the way in which that home is shattered, the way in which it is quieter and emptier than ever before, there are other homes across the city experiencing that same kind of loss. Other homes where families are asking themselves questions for which there are no answers.
Mamdani joined Governor Hochul in calling for a nationwide ban on assault rifles. And the upcoming mayoral election, a pivotal one. Tune in to Fox Local tonight for a live stream premiere of Battleground NYC, the fight for your vote, an up-close look at the New York City mayoral race. Hosted by SC Cup, the show will be streaming weeknights at 7 starting tonight. Tonight's guest, former Mayor Bill de Blasio. And you can catch the show on demand on the Fox Local app wherever you stream. Turning now to the weather, our other top story, 3 consecutive days of at least 90-degree temps means that we are in a heat wave. As you look at that hazy picture there, we're going to bring in the very pretty Liv Johnson to just clear all of this up for us. Miss Johnson, how are you?
Hi, Antoine. Thank you so much. All right, so I do have some good news. Yes, we've had an air quality alert today. We've kind of struggled with air quality the past few days, but that is about to end. Right now, the AQI is not too bad. We're still dealing with the heat advisory as well, of course, but that is also about to end. Doesn't feel like it right now, of course. We're still stuck in the mid-90s, 95 degrees for New York City, 96 for Newark. We have 94 out on Long Island, same thing for Hartford, and 93 for the Hudson Valley. Then we factor in the feel-like temperatures. Most of us feel like triple-digit heat. Look at Newark, 104 right now, Trenton, 106, and Hartford, 103. Those dew point temperatures, this is a little bit more good news, have improved a bit. 63 is not the worst that we've seen. 75 down the shore in New Jersey. That's a tough one. It's still going to be a humid day tomorrow, but we do see some relief on Friday, and we also see big time relief tomorrow in terms of temperatures. It's going to be much cooler. Most of our satellite radar has been clear today, other than some smoke and haze, but we do see some activity popping up to the west of us, and we do have a chance of seeing a few scattered showers or thunderstorms later this evening. That's due to this powerful cold front that's moving through, and I mean it's very powerful. We're going from mid-90s right now. Tomorrow, our high is about 70 or 71 degrees, so it's going to feel downright cold for a lot of us tomorrow. Like I said, a chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms for this evening. This is 5 o'clock. We see some moving through Connecticut, a few pop-up showers that could go through the city, but nothing too crazy until tomorrow. That's when we see a significant amount of rainfall. We have a chance of seeing a quick shower in the morning and then kind of scatter throughout the day. This is at 1 p.m. and you see it up here to the Hudson Valley going through Connecticut. But really the main belly of the beast is going to be tomorrow evening. Around dinner time is when we have some showers and thunderstorms moving through that are a bit stronger. And because of that, we actually have a flood watch now in effect, and that's going to be until Friday. And our 7-day forecast, there's that big cool down. Friday, 71. We have a really nice weekend ahead of us, though. Once we get those showers through for Thursday and then a little bit of Friday, it's going to be very nice outside for your weekend, so you can make some outdoor plans. And I'm going to talk more about this weather today at 3:30 on our YouTube channel live, just in a few minutes. Antoine?
All right, now that's new, so we get to, the viewers and our streamers get to interact with you, correct?
Yes, they do.
What time does that get on?
3:30.
On the YouTube channel, correct?
Yes.
All right, real-time forecast, everything behind the scenes?
Yes, exactly. Anything you want to ask.
Okay.
Weather-related.
Burning questions since the playoff of our heat today. All right, Liv Johnson, thank you. Moving to D.C. now and developing there, a new push by Senate Democrats to have the Jeffrey Epstein case files released. Senator Chuck Schumer says that they are invoking a century-old law in an attempt to force the Justice Department to release the files. Now, it's known as the Rule of Five, under which 5 senators on the Homeland Security Committee call on the executive branch to release documents and other materials. It must comply. The DOJ has not yet responded to this move. Breaking news to pass along right now, the Federal Reserve leaves interest rates unchanged, even as the president demands cuts. The Federal Reserve left its short-term interest rate unchanged for the 5th time this year, the decision leaving the rate at about 4.3%, where it stood after the central bank made 3 cuts last year. Chair Jerome Powell has said the Fed would likely have cut rates already if not for Trump's sweeping tariffs. And in tariff news, the president plans to impose a 25% tariff on goods coming from India. Now, on Truth Social, Mr. Trump posted, "India is our friend, but its tariffs are far too high on U.S. goods." On Friday, he will also charge an additional import tax on India because the country purchases Russian oil. Trump says India's purchase of Russian oil and military equipment has enabled the war in Ukraine. One of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded struck miles off the Russian coast, triggering tsunami warnings and evacuations across the Pacific. The western United States appeared to have escaped without major damage, but the National Weather Service is warning that the San Francisco Bay Area could see some serious currents. Fox News senior correspondent nationally, William Longinus, has more.
A massive earthquake striking Russia's far east, sending tsunami waves towards Hawaii and the west coast. Minor damage reported, and Hawaiian officials eventually downgraded their warning.
The wave activity is still going to be pretty active for a few hours after the initial tsunami waves impact the coastline. I have noticed that they have begun to kind of recede out a little bit more and come back in.
Cars jammed highways in Hawaii's capital as thousands evacuated from the coastal areas on Tuesday. Wave heights reaching up to 6 feet in parts of Maui and 5 feet on the Big Island.
There may be flooding of beach or harbor areas. Those who have evacuated may safely return home based on county assessments and directives.
Geologists say the 8.8 magnitude earthquake happened about 85 miles off the Russian coast, a depth about 12 miles. The tremors triggered a tsunami across the northern Pacific that sent waves towards a chain of Russian islands, floodwaters submerging buildings and tearing boats off their mooring. It also targeted portions of Japan, prompting evacuations for 2 million near their coastlines. Others were forced to shelter on top of high buildings.
I was very scared. The warnings were for all over Japan.
Geologists say the 8.8 quake is the 5th strongest ever recorded. In Los Angeles, William Lajeunesse, Fox News.
Developing also right now, the NTSB finds that an Army Black Hawk helicopter was above the altitude limit in the fatal midair crash with an American Airlines jet 6 months ago. This happened on January 29th, the collision in Washington, D.C. It was the deadliest aviation accident since 2001, killing 67 people on board both aircrafts. Now, the NTSB is holding a 3-day investigative hearing into the collision. The goal of the NTSB's hearing is to help the board obtain information necessary to determine the facts and circumstances of the accident. Investigators have said that flight data, the recorder there, showed that the helicopter was flying 80 to 100 feet higher than the gauge pilots actually relied upon.
The Army crew was trained to fly the helicopter routes around DCA using the barometric altimeter. The triangles show 3 pilot altitude callouts recorded on the CVR during this portion of flight. Altitude callouts showed a possible lower than actual altitude understanding by the crew.
In March, officials said that flight patterns around Reagan National Airport created an intolerable risk. Health experts and community leaders rallying outside the MTA's board meeting this morning, urging the agency to reinstate a recently overturned ban on alcohol advertising on subways and buses. The MTA banned alcohol ads back in 2017, citing public health concerns. Last month, the board voted quietly to reverse its longtime policy. Demonstrators say the ads negatively impact public health, especially in communities of color, low-income riders, and young people. Data from the 2025 New York State Alcohol Policy Summit report that alcohol-related health care expenses cost New Yorkers more than $800 a month. That's your news block for now. I'm Antoine Lewis. Thank you so much for joining us. Tune into the 5 o'clock news and Fox Local right here for all of the day's news as it develops.